in the future, my health needs will change. So it's important I look at what's available today. And to not only look at, well, what is it going to cost in the premium? Premium is important because that's part of the cost, but it's not the only cost. You're going to have other costs such as deductibles, and you're going to have co-pays. You may also run into lifetime limits on certain kinds of tests, diagnostic tests like PET scans and MRIs.
So when you say explain that just a hair.
Sure. So if you're somebody who has had issues that you need a lot of PET scans or a lot of MRIs, Medicare is only going to cover up to a certain amount over the lifetime. The same thing also with things like physical therapy. You may run into a lifetime limit, so that means anything above that is going to come out of pocket.
Oh.
So if you're in that category, you have to be aware of that and choose a plan that either does not have the kind of lifetime limit or one that covers a part of it. And there are options for you. You can look at the Medicare Advantage plans, and even within those different plans, you can then say, well, does it cover vision care? Does it cover dental care? And of course, you're going to be paying more, so if it's not appropriate for you, then you don't want to necessarily pay more if it's not something that you're going to need. So now is the great time to look at the options that you have and make your decision by December 7th so that you are locked in for 2018.
So once you're done with December 7th, it's too late. You're locked in, so you need to make sure that you take the time now and get in and do the research, and then just make sure you pull the trigger by December 7th. Is it end of night, midnight, December 7th?
11:59, that's it, not 12:01, 11:59. But I want to encourage people to say, you're not in this alone. It is confusing. It is complicated. It is scary. But you're not in it alone. There's lots of information available to you. Like I said, you can go to Medicare.gov. You can go to costofcomplacency.com. In addition, you can go to your local senior center and actually talk with an expert who can help guide you. So you're not only just getting information, but it's something that a person can talk with you and say, hey, this is my need, and this is my need, and this is different than my family, or this is. You're not just getting information, you're getting guidance so that you can really select the right plan for you. And also, remember that next year you get to do this again if you want. So you're not locked in for life.
Oh, that's true. So if you make a decision that you think, well, I could have made a little better decision looking back, and then they got the next year to just fix that. Exactly.
I mean, and at worst, you may have left some money on the table, but okay, next year you can do what's better for you. And again, your health care might have changed. What you need now may not have been what it was last year.
That's true, yeah, depending on conditions, your living conditions, what has changed, a spouse has passed, so they may not need the same. When you, real quick, I know you don't have much time, but when you do this, do you do it individually, or can you do it as a husband and wife? Is it a package for both of you, or is it everything individualized?
It's all individualized, and what might be best for you may not be the best for your spouse. You just never know, because we are individuals and we have different health needs. And we are aging differently, so really, you can do it separately, and in fact, you have to do it separately because it's individual accounts. So take the time. Now, you should talk it over with each other certainly, and if there are two of you in the family, and also you can also be thinking about you could have elderly parents. There are many people who are on Medicare whose parents are also on Medicare and they're still alive. So it's not just that, you can be 95 as well, and be on Medicare. So you have to review for yourself, for anybody else who's on Medicare. And this is the time to do it by December 7th.
All right, very good. Bart, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate all your information. Feel free to come back anytime.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bart. All right, bye-bye. We'll take a little break and we'll be right back.
This year, thanks to the efforts of the Bad Gift Givers Anonymous Association for the Givers of Bad Gifts, better known as the BGGA, the ratio of bad gift giving has been drastically reduced since our last commercial. But there is still much work to be done, and we need your help. Ties and sweaters just won't do this year. Join the thousands, nay, hundreds of thousands of smart people who said enough is enough and went to Ocala Aviation, where they purchased the gift above all other gifts, the present that soars above all other presents, the one that makes your friends jealous that they didn't think of it first. That's right, I'm talking about a discovery flight from Ocala Aviation. Whatever bad gift you were thinking of, stop. We're here to help. Let us convert that bad idea into a great one. For only $99, you can give the gift of flight, a discovery flight from Ocala Aviation. Call today. It's not too late. 861-7484. That's 861-7484.
There are only a few things in life that you can be certain will always be around. Death, taxes, the pursuit of happiness, and computers. As they continue to advance at an epic pace, the one absolute certainty about them is that they'll break. It's not an if, it's a when. And when it happens, bring it to the only company in Ocala that's certified in Apple and Microsoft, Ocala Mac and PC Repair. They even offer on-site computer repair service, so they come to you. And if you do drop it off, you can check your repair status online. Ocala Mac and PC Repair is a family-owned and operated company that can do everything from mobile repair to wireless networks, fixing viruses, data recovery, even building and installing new systems. Visit online at ocalamacpc.com. In person, 1713 East Silver Springs Boulevard, or give them a call, 352-566-8324. That's 352-566-8324. Ocala Mac and PC Repair.
Hey Ocala, this is Kelly Hart, Executive Editor of Ocala Magazine. Did you know last year Ocala Magazine won more awards in excellence than any other publication in Florida? And this year, Ocala Magazine was named Best Consumer Magazine in the state. Now you can join me every Friday at 10 a.m. on Ocala Magazine Radio, where we bring the pages of Ocala Magazine to life, right here on The Source. Ocala Magazine thanks you for making us number one. And remember, there is only one Ocala Magazine.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Tired of looking at stained carpets, dirty tile, or grout? Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Make your flooring look great again. Stains, pet odors, allergies. Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. From serving our country to serving our community. Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Residential and commercial. Their work is guaranteed along with your satisfaction. Check their website, silverbackrestoration.com.
And we are back. It is just about 20 minutes after 11 a.m. right here on WOCA in Ocala. And we are talking to somebody that is on the other side of the coast. He's getting up just in time to talk with us. We are talking with Dr. John Mendelson. He is an MD and the medical director of RIA Health. Good morning, John. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. We talked off the air just a little bit. John's over in San Francisco where the weather is pretty much like it is here, so we're enjoying the day. It's going to be a nice Thanksgiving holiday. But as with every holiday, there are some little demons that could possibly come out, and what we're here talking about today is actually alcohol, drinking alcohol and the disorder of alcohol.
Yes. So we're talking about problem alcohol consumption and people who have, and what we can do about it. And we formed a company that incorporates most of the evidence that has been accumulated over the last 20 years through scientists, clinical researchers, and basic scientists on alcohol abuse and alcoholism. And most people don't know it, but this is actually a surprisingly treatable disorder, and one you can get a lot of benefit from treatment in decreasing and controlling your drinking. You don't have to just quit. We offer a way for people to cut down their drinking as well. But perhaps if you want, we can talk about questions or what issues do you have that you'd like to learn about?
Well, we have the holidays coming up here, and so many people overdo it, and they just get a little over their head. And you hear about Uncle Bob, and the research shows that the uncles are the most likely. That's why we always say uncle, but they just get a little too over their head. The holidays come around. Sometimes it's just a stressful time. What are some tips and cues we can try to incorporate in our lives to maybe slow that down a little bit?
first off, everyone should know some of the definitions of excessive drinking. If you drink more than 4 standard drinks on an occasion, that's sort of your maximum. You get up to 5, you're into the binge and high intensity drinking territory. So 5 standard drinks over 2 hours would equal a high intensity drinking episode. And your blood alcohol level, if you do that, will almost always be above 0.08. Okay? So that's the legal limit for driving in the United States. So first off, don't go to that point, right? Don't, pace your drinks, drink them further apart, have smaller drinks, drink beverages with lower alcohol contents. Some people don't realize this, but beers vary in alcohol content from about 4% to about 12%. And wine varies also from 12% to about 16% of alcohol content. That means that if you're drinking a high alcohol content wine, you're actually drinking a lot more alcohol per glass. And so knowing that makes a difference. The mixed drinks, many mixed drinks actually contain 2 or 3 standard drinks in a single glass.
Wow.
And so if you want to drink less, tell the bartender to give you less alcohol, right?
Yeah.
And you at the price you're really paying for the ambiance and the rest of the drink rather than the alcohol. So I think cutting down is not as hard as people think it is if you just take a few simple steps and do it.
Yeah, you're right, because the ambiance is part of the whole experience. So you relax, you're having things with friends. You don't want to be odd man out.
Exactly. Over the holidays too, oftentimes people realize that they have a drinking problem, and that comes up when they lose control in front of their friends or family members. We have a lot of people who come to treatment because they've alienated a friend or a close family member or a friend by saying things they shouldn't say while drinking, and or by picking a fight they didn't want to pick, or not remembering that they said certain things that were taboo within that family structure or hurtful. So if you're engaging in behaviors where you're either not able to control your behavior or say things you don't want to say or can't even remember what happened, you can merit some treatment. I think one of the big things is that people don't have to hit bottom to get help and to get treatment.
That's a good statement. I like that. Yeah.
And that's sort of been the model over the years, that you have to like if you alienate all your friends and lose your job and you're living on the street, that's when you qualify for treatment. And the treatment is always some kind of spiritual treatment. You have to go and join a group and somehow cleanse your soul. Those things are good. Cleansing your soul is good. Spirituality is great.
I like that.
But you don't got to do it. You don't got to do it to get better. Okay, there are things you can do in addition.
It seems like this is a more logical approach to the situation and to a problem that doesn't have to get to such an extent. Like you said, it's a logical approach to stop it from getting to that point.
Yes, and I think I like the term medical approach better, because we're not in medicine. One of the things we train our students, medical students, and I was trained in, is you really don't want to be judgmental. Someone comes with a problem, you want to find the best solution to it that doesn't impugn the value of that person and what their beliefs are. We all do stupid things. I'm a big bike rider, and at some point I'll fall off my bicycle and break something. And the last thing I need is some guy in the emergency room telling me I'm an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
He or she may be right, but that doesn't mean that I need to know.
There's nothing you need to hear at the moment. Yeah, it's not very productive.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't set my bones, and it doesn't fix anything at all.
Yeah.
Well, addictions are really stigmatized. People have a really negative view of addiction and really think it's about the person, not about the disease. But as most people who have alcohol abuse and alcohol use disorder and alcoholism will tell you, they didn't get there by choice. They got there through a series of increments that left them out of control of their drinking and terrified.
Right.
I think that's the other big thing. If you're drinking and you're terrified, you're scared of what happens to you when you drink, that's a really good reason to go get some help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do something different.
Well, you've got in here, I'm just reading over some of your statements, and the economy, I didn't even think about this. Touch on that a minute, if you would.
Well, the economy is complicated in the sense that people tend to actually drink more as the economy gets better. So one of the things that most people who have an alcohol problem, at one point in their life, were drinking in a controlled manner. Okay, and for many of our patients, they've been drinking and have had 20 years of controlled drinking.
Yeah.
So what sets them up? What changes in them that now goes from controlled to uncontrolled drinking? Well, one of the big precipitants is stress. And when I say stress, I don't. Everyone has their own definition of stress, but this is something that really gets under people's skin. It can be loss of a job, it can be loss of a relative, a death of a relative who's very close. So stressors, big stressors, can cause the transition from controlled to uncontrolled drinking, and economic stress is one of those. So like with the recession in 2008, a lot of people lost their jobs. They both they felt bad about themselves. They had less money and less resources, and they had more time. And that combination, if you're already drinking moderately or even heavily, can lead to a transition from controlled to uncontrolled drinking. However, the other side of that coin is that in good economic times, people also drink more because they have more money.
Yeah.
Right? More resources. And so we can see increases in alcohol use in good economic times because people have more leisure time. Today, one of the more interesting things, some recent studies show that over the decade from 2002 to 2012, which included the Great Recession, the rate of alcohol use disorder climbed substantially in the United States, and not a little bit, like about 10%.
Oh, wow.
The increases were most pronounced in women, where there was an 84% increase in the rate of disease, and in the elderly, where there was about a 60% increase in the rate of disease. So some people think, I'm retired, I can have my wine starting at noon, and there's no problem with it. We take care of a lot of patients who are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who had a prior drinking history that was not terrible.
Yeah.
And now they're out. They're drinking 2 bottles of wine a day.
Oh.
Having blackouts, having falls, and if they're not having those, they know where they're going.
Yeah.
They know the path. So I know Florida's got a lot of retirees. So if you're a retiree and your alcohol consumption has increased dramatically, you should look out for people like us. We're there. But they'd be to help. That is, we're not there to do something bad.
Well, clearly, yeah.
So the rates of alcohol use disorder have climbed in the United States during the recession period.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that. But if you look worldwide, again, about 1 in 10 people in the world have some form of problematic drinking, either binge drinking, drinking again more than 4 to 5 drinks per drinking occasion, at least once a week.
Yeah.
Or high intensity drinker drinking definitely more than 5 drinks per occasion, or daily consumption that's well above the accepted health safety points. So it's a really prevalent problem. So is there some good news here, right? Is there some good news here? Well, one of the good pieces of good news is that if you get treated, or and some people spontaneously get better, which is kind of against the dogma of the field that you're never once you're an addict, you're always an addict. Your best you can do is be in recovery,
yeah, and
try to avoid relapsing. If your drinking does, studies, the epidemiologic evidence shows that people who've gotten treated and then, go out 5 years, many of them are drinking again, but at much lower levels. So,
wow.
So a return to controlled drinking is possible for many people. But they have to address it. They have to have a period of time of treatment in order to get there, or just
and get away from that stigma of it's got to be all or nothing, because that's a pretty big stigma in our society. It's I'm a recovering alcoholic, so I can't have a single drop, or I will just go off the wagon. But you're saying, and logically so, that no, there's a better way. There is a more medically, scientifically proven way that says we can do this in a much more controlled atmosphere.
Yeah. Some people may require sober intervals, periods of time for sobriety, but many people, depending on their consumption patterns and their biology, we can bring them down to controlled drinking fairly quickly, and without. I think the stigma is another thing that's always worth talking about. We use words like in the addiction field, people use words like you're clean or you're dirty, right?
Yeah.
If you're if you give me a dirty urine test, if you've got a dirty urine, you're a dirty person too. And I don't think you can get much more stigmatized than that.
Yeah.
You relapse, but if you're relapsing, that means you must have been lapsed to begin with.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
And so yeah. So you're just going back to your native state of lapse. We have one pejorative term after another in addiction that basically demeans the person, the individual person, and builds shame and stigma.
And we just don't need that. That's like you said, it's unnecessary.
Exactly. It really. I don't know anything where really shaming people really has worked really well. I mean, if it did, we bring back the public stocks. In the scarlet letters, and
Oh yeah.
Shame really.
Who doesn't love a public sock? I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. a good public humiliation.
Floggings.
Floggings. Exactly. I'm sure Disney will put together a theme ride.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we've got the Shrek ride. We'll do that. The flogging ride from Shrek. We'll just bring it back.
That'd be good.
Oh, John. Well, sir, we appreciate all your information. Now, is there a great website to go to?
Yeah. You can go. People can go to www.RIA Health HEALTH.com. It's all one word, RIAHealth.com. And my background, I'm an internist, and I'm also a research scientist. So I've been doing clinical trials in addiction for a good 30 years, all funded by the NIH. So again, our approach really grows out of the science base that's been developed at the National Institutes of Health, and particularly the National Institutes of Alcoholism and Alcohol Abuse.
Mm-hmm.
By nation's top scientists, many of whom actually are in Florida. So there's a lot of great clinical and research scientists in Florida working on both opiates and alcohol that do really interesting things.
Yeah.
So, go to RIA Health, and if people have questions, we actually have a free. We can, if people have questions about themselves or their family members, and believe me, a lot of people are going to have. There are going to be a lot of experiences on Thursday where family members are concerned about someone drinking. We do free consultations, and we're available if necessary.
Well, it's a great service. It's a great product, John. It's a huge epidemic, and it's great to see that there's something else out there besides just the one thing. That there are alternative methods to getting to the bottom of the problem, and we really appreciate you being on air. And come back anytime, sir.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Thank you, guys. Dr. John, let me make sure I don't butcher your last name. Mendelson, MD, Director. Thank you, sir, of RIA Health. Just visit RIAHealth.com. All right, we'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
What do I do now?
After 911, don't worry. Call Fakuri. Fakuri Medical and Chiropractic. Treating auto injuries for over 32 years. Same-day appointments, immediate medical attention, all under one roof. Don't worry. Call Fakuri. Go to bestinjurycare.com. All auto insurances are accepted. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take your call. Car accident? Don't worry. Call Fakuri. bestinjurycare.com. When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. This afternoon, variable cloudiness with a shower or thunderstorm around, high 76 to 82. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low 62 to 64. Wednesday, variable cloudiness with a passing shower, high 78 to 81. And for Thursday, rather cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 76 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Gregory Patrick.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best charred grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
What do I do now?
After 911, don't worry, call Fakuri. Fakuri Medical and Chiropractic, treating auto injuries for over 32 years. Same-day appointments, immediate medical attention, all under one roof. Don't worry, call Fakuri. Go to bestinjurycare.com. All auto insurances are accepted. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take your call. Car accident? Don't worry, call Fakuri. bestinjurycare.com.
Hi, I'm Russ Moore with Pike Mill. Our relationship with WOCA started in 2009. WOCA is family-friendly, community-involved station. When we moved to our new location on 17th Street in October of 2016, of course, we went to WOCA so they could tell everybody our new location. The folks at WOCA really care about their clients and want them to be successful. For all of your shipping needs, call Pike Mill, and to tell the Ocala area about your business, call WOCA, because WOCA radio gets results.
Direct Connect to UCF, where students who attend the College of Central Florida and graduate with an AA or articulated AS degree are guaranteed admission to the University of Central Florida. Success coaches are ready and waiting to assist you in designing an educational plan that is right for you in any of their locations across Central Florida. Remember, connecting is easy and guaranteed. Find out more at directconnecttoucf.com.
Hey, this is Matt Wilkerson from Verizon. You work all day, right? So why would you want to spend your night out shopping for that new phone? Well, Marion County, let me and Verizon help you out. I can deliver to your home or office, saving you precious time. Phone, tablets, internet, home phones, even accessories. Whatever you need, we will deliver free of charge. Call me at the store, 352-528-0020. That's 528-0020.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Why is there a mariachi band? And wait, are you digging up the yard again?
It's not what it looks like.
Oh, really? Because it looks like you're tearing up my yard right over the septic tank.
Okay, so maybe it's a little bit what it looks like. See, what happened was...
Wait, let me guess. The septic is backing up and you thought you were Fix-It Guy again and would take it upon yourself and dig up my yard?
That's Mr. Fix-It Guy.
Uh-huh. What did we say the new rule was?
No eBay when you're not home.
Well, yes, but not that one. If water runs through it...
I know, they do it. But this is septic.
Yes, Mike Scott Plumbing does septic.
I knew that.
Uh-huh. 866-314-4443.
I know. 866-314-4443. Got it.
And what's with the mariachi band?
You didn't say anything about Amazon. On next week's episode of What Not to Do.
Aw, come on, an elephant?
Tired of looking at stained carpets, dirty tile, or grout? Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Make your flooring look great again. Stains, pet odors, allergies. Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. From serving our country to serving our community. Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Residential and commercial. Their work is guaranteed along with your satisfaction. Check their website, silverbackrestoration.com.
I'm a deputy. I'm an artist.
I'm a bookworm.
We are blood donors.
No matter what defines you, being a blood donor with Life South makes you a local lifesaver. When you donate with Life South, your blood stays in your community to help patients in local hospitals. Make being a blood donor part of your identity. Be a local lifesaver. Donate blood with Life South today. Visit lifesouth.org for locations.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. This afternoon, variable cloudiness with a shower or thunderstorm around, high 76 to 82. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low 62 to 64. Wednesday, variable cloudiness with a passing shower, high 78 to 81. And for Thursday, rather cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 76 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Gregory Patrick.
Back in the 90s, right? And so I threw this huge party, and it was my favorite band, and I was backstage, and then I made lots of money because all these people came to the party, and I'm like, okay, so there's a lot of creativity here. Everything needs to be created, and then you start seeing people enjoy what you created. So
I love that. So what's your advice for the aspiring entrepreneur like yourself at one point who's still trying to figure things out? They've got the 9-to-5 job. It's their only source of income, but like most of us, right? Especially if you're joining us, you want to become an entrepreneur. You want to turn your passion into a business, a thriving one at that. So what's your advice to the person who's got the 9-to-5, they've got an idea for a business, they've got their passion, they're not currently monetizing it. When is the right time, and how do they know when to cut the cord and go full time?
Well, first of all, you have to survive. So make sure that you're somehow equipped to survive.
Gotta have some cash flow.
I mean, you have
or
to.
savings.
It's very realistic, right? But if you've got a couple of months, worth going, that's important. Or you work 2 jobs. But from an inspirational level, you have to feel in you that you can create something that is better than what is out there, that is different than what is out there, and that fulfills someone else's dream, basically. So someone wants this product and can really buy into it, and you're the one who's uniquely able to fulfill that on that mission. And if you feel like you're uniquely able to do that, which is a huge word, then you have it, and then you just go for it. And it doesn't matter if 3 people are uniquely qualified as well. You just have to believe in this and have to go.
So I'm really interested to know about your hiring process, because you said going into the consultancy and the agency model, you went from having 10 to 15 employees down to 2. So your hiring process must be so interesting and strict, because you're only looking for those 1 or 2 people that are going to help your business. So what's your hiring process look like?
Well, it's, I used to have all these different processes, and I looked for all of these qualities, and now there's really only one thing I look for. I mean, first you have to qualify, right? You have to qualify, are you good creative, and whatever the job description.
But what's the one thing?
The one thing for me is, would I want to hug this person? Would this be a person that I feel like, if I'm gone for a week, they would get work done? Is that someone that I can rely on, and it's just a good person? And it's kind of silly, but that to me is the most important thing. My current number 1 employee, as I call her, she flew in from Detroit. I met her for half an hour. I hugged her, and we signed the contract, and she flew back to Detroit. And so, I mean, and she's with me now, and it was all based on personality.
What has been the hardest thing on your journey so far, on the entrepreneurial journey, that's been the hardest thing you've had to overcome?
The hardest thing for me to overcome was, it was hiring. It was trying to figure out how can I grow this company in a way where I can be very competitive, while the work that we received was getting more and more repetitive and production heavy. So it was really more a structural question of growth. So basically growth was my biggest problem.
How is growth your biggest problem? Most people would say, adversity or partnerships or funding was their biggest problem. You're saying it was growth?
So potentially it was the micromanaging of the growth. Right?
Yeah.
So as a creative driver in the company, it was very hard for me to let go. And so when you have a staff of 10, 15 people, you have to let go, right? You have to have, middle management. You have to have a lot of project management. And so that was something that I had a really hard time with. And maybe that's why trust is so important to me today.
In your company, how are you figuring out how to balance, right? You've got your family and you're married. So that puts you in a different life stage than maybe a single bachelor entrepreneur who's able to have the different levels of freedom that come with being a single person than being a married man. So how are you integrating work and life balance so that your life is is something that's actually fulfilling you and makes you happy versus feeling stressed because now it's just like, oh, I got the kids, I got the wife, I got business, I got employees, I got payroll. So how are you figuring out how to integrate that so life is actually balanced and fulfilled?
Well, one of the big things which you already mentioned is payroll. I have barely payroll, right? I have a very, very small company. To me, this is so liberating. And I walk into the office and I can take on whatever clients I want to take on. And that is extremely liberating. I travel a lot, which is beautiful because I actually like, to see new cities. And
so it's a much more lifestyle business?
It is much more. And I work in 8 to 6, 8 to 7 to be realistic, right? And no weekends at all, ever, religiously, unless I write something. But it's pretty balanced. It took me only 15 years to get there, so no rush, no rush.
Well, hey, 15 years is better than not figuring it out at all, right?
That's true.
Hey, if you're looking to figure out how to build a brand, I think just from this interview alone, the best way to get started is to check out Fabian's book on how to launch a brand. Fabian, appreciate you for coming on the show, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
I'm Mark Lack on Business Rockstars, connecting a community of entrepreneurs. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, and online at businessrockstars.com.
If you've fallen behind on your taxes, you know that the IRS is already coming for their money, and they'll get it too by garnishing your wages or maybe even taking your home or business. They call it enforced compliance, and you'd better watch out because the penalties and interest compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. You need to call the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Solving tax issues is all they do. One call to Optima starts the process to stop the demand letters and stop aggressive collection actions. They get to work immediately, fighting to protect your assets and helping you put your tax problems behind you. The IRS writes off millions every year, and Optima knows all the ins and outs of the IRS's tax assistance programs that could save you thousands. So what are you waiting for? Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You shouldn't have to choose a random lawyer who charges expensive hourly rates when you need legal help. But the legal system is so complicated, what other choice do you have when you need help with your business or want to protect your family? Start with LegalZoom. They make it easy. For more than a decade, they've provided a way for regular people like you and me to confidently navigate the legal system. LegalZoom's not a law firm, and that's how they provide such great value. They don't rely on charging you by the hour. Instead, you'll get transparent pricing and customer reviews so you know exactly what you're getting up front. If you need help with incorporation, LLCs, trademarks, last wills, living trusts, and more, LegalZoom's the smart choice. They've got the right people on hand to answer your questions. And if you need legal advice, their network of independent attorneys can provide the straightforward guidance you need in most states. Don't let legal hurdles become an excuse. Go to LegalZoom.com today to start building your own future the right way. To save even more, enter Rockstar in the referral box at checkout. That's LegalZoom.com.
On the track, even 1/100th of a second decides who wins and who loses. That's why Bridgestone uses advanced racing technology to create their fastest street-legal replacement tire yet, the new Bridgestone Potenza RE71R. Engineered with an innovative hydro-evacuation surface and unique tread compounds, the new Potenza RE71R is designed to give you maximum grip and ultimate cornering on or off the track. Bridgestone is changing the game in tire performance.
Awareness and common sense go a long way on a boat. I'm Greg the Dive Master, and I'll tell you how to avoid violating basic boating etiquette next.
This scuba tip is brought to you by DAN, Divers Alert Network. DAN helps divers in need of medical emergency assistance with the DAN hotline and is the most recognized and trusted organization worldwide in the fields of dive safety and emergency services, health, research, and education. Join DAN today by going to dan.org. DAN, your dive safety association.
Dive boat etiquette is about safety and respecting the crew and your fellow divers. First, ask for permission aboard before just jumping on deck and setting up your gear. Once you do, keep it clear of walkways and stowed out of the way. And pay close attention to the briefing. You may have heard it before, but that doesn't mean everyone else on the boat has. Dive into dan.org for more info and to Scuba Radio to get the urge to submerge.
Maybe you're asking yourself, who is that guy in the mirror? What happened to the guy with the brass knuckle attitude? Maybe he just needs to decide, is that a tie around his neck or a leash? Join the Brotherhood of Muscle with an available 485 horsepower Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger GT, the world's first all-wheel drive two-door muscle car at the Dodge Drive and Discover event. Dodge is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Inspire, inform, and connecting a community of entrepreneurs. This is Business Rockstars. I'm Pat O'Brien. Welcome to the show. Let's check in with Mark Lack.
We're here to inspire, inform, and connect a community of entrepreneurs. I'm Mark Lack, and this is Business Rockstars. Our guest joining us right now is Lindsay Namiash. She is the co-founder of Jive PR Plus Digital. Lindsay, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
All right, so give us the elevator pitch. What does your company do?
Public relations and social PR.
That's not an elevator pitch. That's just
I know,
what your
short
company
and
does.
sweet.
Short and sweet. All right, so who's your target audience? Who do you work with?
We work with anyone, tech clients, entertainment, brands, make people memorable.
So very broad, less niched.
Yes, and very thought leadership based and brand awareness based.
So for the people out there who hear the word PR, and we've probably all heard the word PR before, what does PR actually do? What is like the bread and butter of what you guys provide?
We help make people memorable. We tell stories and we get you out in the media and have you become subject experts.
Okay, and so what are the practical ways to get started for that? Because it sounds like, oh, I don't have the money to afford PR.
Right.
But a lot of times you can actually bootstrap PR and you can do it at a pretty affordable price. So how do you do that? What's the first steps?
Well, there's lots of things you can do. Foundational pieces, I always say to people, make sure that their LinkedIn profiles are well written, make sure that they've got all their website copy basis.
So like the ABCs.
The ABCs, but you'd be surprised how many people don't have that done.
Yeah.
The reason I say the website's so important is that especially when you're a startup and then you're going to pitch media later on or investors, they need somewhere to land where they can understand what it is that you do if you're not there to speak and tell them. So we always do the Foundations 101, and if they're already existing, we clean them up. But I definitely recommend that. And then I always say especially to young startups, you don't have to hire a PR agency and spend thousands of dollars. Pick a few journalists and go after them. So while if you hire an agency, you might get access to thousands of journalists because they're sending it nationally across the country, pick 5 publications that you want to be featured in. Say if it's the business section of the Wall Street Journal, you want to be in Fast Company because you've got a really cool tech entertainment piece. Figure out who those journalists are, read their stories. That's the first thing. Actually know what the journalists that you're pitching are writing about and get to know them. Follow them on social media. Start retweeting their content. Start liking their posts. Develop a relationship. So that's what it's online dating. And just
with journalists.
With journalists. But you're focusing on 5 key people. We call it digital romancing.
So practical steps though, where do I go and find these people?
Pick up a newspaper.
Okay.
Read the newspaper.
See who it's written by.
See who it's written by, and say,
find them on
I would
social
love
media,
to be featured there.
Follow them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Go to the masthead, see if you can get their email address. Google them. They'll turn up, and start following them, reading their pieces, and developing that relationship. And if you're in the city, especially I would say this for local journalists, ask them to go for coffee. Journalists sometimes feel that there's such a divide. I know they're really busy and maybe they'll say no or they won't answer you, but if it's a localized regional paper, absolutely ask them to go for coffee. If it's a local producer for a news show in your area, invite them out. Tell them you want to get to know them.
Is there a two-pronged approach here? Is it finding journalists to help you and get your word out there, or can you also go out and do this on your own? You can create great content and have other people just publish it for you, right?
Oh, yeah, completely.
You don't have to have a journalist do it.
You don't have to have a journalist do it. And I'd say that's another great component that you bring up. Write a blog post, put it on LinkedIn, put it on Medium, whatever you might do, and then you send it out to the world. So tweet it. And if you get a catchy subject, tweet it at a journalist that you think it'd be relevant to. Again, don't spam journalists with tweets to your blog posts and stuff like that. But if it's of relevance because they wrote about something on a similar topic, send it to them.
So what are some of the mistakes people make, though? Because PR is basically trying to get your content, your products, your services, trying to really just get more awareness and engagement. And so people are doing that online because everyone nowadays has a voice with social media.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people that are making mistakes. What are some of the common ones?
Don't make